Now let's take a look at this graph question over here. Now since this graph they given you a scale over here, so we are just going to follow that. But we are going to transfer this, all right, into our graph over here. Okay. So what we can do now take a look, right. Now if you would like to transfer this to this, okay, let me adjust this thing. Okay. So if I would like to do this again, like usually I would like to start my graph at the corner here, right? And since the x-axis give me 50 to 300, I'm just going to follow that, all right? So remember, when you want to do your scale, make sure it's always on the thicker lines, okay? On the thicker lines is the one that I'm drawing right now, all right? Don't use the thinner line because you will just confuse yourself when you do that, okay? So I will use the thicker line, so that will be my 0, my 50, my 100, my 150, my 200, my 250, and finally my 300. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. So, okay, so I'm just gonna draw my x-axis line. Okay, and that my x-axis is the height when dropped in cm, so I'm just gonna write that down. So that's my height when dropped in centimeter. Okay, all right, so I'm done with my x-axis. I'm going to do my y-axis now. So I have 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. So again, I'm just going to use my thicker line, but I'm going to show you something what's going to happen now. So if this is my, let's just try out, is this my 50, that's my 100, okay, that's my 150, 200, and 250. Now take a look at this, all right? I'm following the scale, right? Nothing's wrong here. Everything looks good. But if you take a look, it seems like I'm cramping the data, right? You see there's a big space over here. It's like quite wasted. You're not using it. So might as well we use it, right? So we can present our data nice and neat. So what do I do over here? All right, what do I do over here? So instead of using instead of 50 starting over here, I would try my 50 to start over here. Means like two giant box to 50. Okay, so what do I mean over here? It's gonna looks like this. So instead of putting 50 here, I will start 50 over here. All right, and this distance has to be equal. So my next data, which is 100, needs to be here. All right, not here. A lot of people would like to put 100 here. This is wrong, because the spacing here is not equal anymore. Remember, the spacing must be equal, okay? So my 100, it's there. So next one is my 150. So again, like jump to big box, that's my 150. Jump to big box again, my 200, that's there. And finally, over here, that's my 250. Right, so take a look. Now your graph look big and nice, correct or not? All right, so since we are done with that, I'm just gonna draw a line over here. All right, I'm just gonna draw a line over here. Okay, whoops, messy line. I'm just gonna erase that. Just gonna do it nice and neat. All right, that looks better. So that will be my y-axis and it's labeled as height of bounds. So I'm just gonna write there the height of bounds, okay? And that is in centimeters, so I'm just going to put that down. All right, so what's next over here? Okay, what's next over here? I am going to fill in the points, okay? So from my book over here, from your learner book, all right, from your learner book, okay, you see all the table data are there, right? So I'm going to fill this up, okay? So for the first one is going to be 50 and 40. So I'm just going to find that in my graph now. So where's my 50 and 40? Okay. So that's my 50. My x-axis is 50. But where's my 40 over here? Now this is where you need to count all these small boxes here, right? So take a look. Over here, I have 50 out of 20 boxes. So one small boxes is equal to how much? So 50 divided by 20, so that's 2.5. All right, so that's 2.5, which means one small box over here is equivalent to 2.5. So based on this, if you have two small box, all right, we change it to a whole number so it's easier to count. So two small box will give you 5. All right. So where is 40 located? Okay. All right. Now two small box give you 5, right? So which means 4 small boxes will give you 10, right? So let's count 4 small boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here, that's my 10. So every time we count four small boxes, there will be 10. Okay, so my 40 will be here. All right, so I know that 4 small boxes is 10, so I'm going to count backwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here, that's my 40. That's my 40. All right, so my first coordinate will be 50 and 40. So 50 and 40, so it's going to be here. Make sure you mark at the correct line. Huh? And then my second one will be 180. So my 100 is here. My 80 is going to be somewhere here. All right. So 80 is nearer to this 100. So I'm going to count backwards. So remember, 4 small boxes is equivalent to 10. All right. So I need to go to 80. So I need to minus 8 small boxes. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, that's my 90. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me see again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so over here, that's my 80. All right. Okay, let's look at the next one. So I have my 150 and 120. 150 is here. 120 is going to be somewhere near here. So I'm going to count 8 boxes again because this line is 100. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be over here. That's my 120. Next one, 200 and 160. 200 is here. 160 is going to be somewhere here. This is 150. So I'm going to add 4 small boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be this one. And finally, 250 to 200. So 250 is here. My 200 is going to be over here. Right, I'm done. Okay, so very nice. Okay, so I can just take my ruler now and connect all the lines over here. All right, I can connect all the lines over here. So make sure all the dots are connected into one straight line. Okay, one straight line. So that's what directly proportional means. Directly proportional, if you are inputting the data in the graph, you always get a straight line. This is what direct proportional look like. And of course, I missed out in the previous video. This is how an inverse proportional graph look like. It's going to be curved like this way over here. Okay. Now, if you take a look at your question at 11C4, right, in your learner book, page 247, 11C4, you can see that the question asks you, use your graph. So you have to use your graph. Okay, over here, to work out the height which she dropped. Okay, so Camilla dropped the ball and it bounced back up to 180 cm. It bounced back up. Oh, it's got here. It bounced back up. So bounce back up means a height of bounce lah. It bounced back up 180 centimeter. So they're asking you, from which height did she drop the ball? Right? So bounce back up is going to be y-axis. So I'm going to find 180 over here. So where is that? Okay. So 180 is going to be somewhere here. Let's count from here. So we need to minus 8 boxes because 1 boxes is equivalent to 10. All right. So let's count this properly. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, over here, that's my 180. Yeah, that's my 180. So I'm gonna trace this to this line over here. Okay, I'm gonna trace this to this line over here. So make sure you are connecting the correct line. I'm going to trace this with a dotted line. Okay, and it touches here, and I'm going to bring this down. Okay, so what does my graph tells me here? So it tells me when the ball bounced back up 180 cm, it tells me I dropped the ball from this. So based on this, is the middle of 200 and 250. So I know that it's going to be 225 centimeter. Okay, now that's how you do the graph and extract out information from the graph. Okay.